Men, what is your biggest handicap in getting a girlfriend? I'm honestly not even trying. I could go out, try to be a more social person, but instead I live like a recluse. I would like to meet a girl, fall in love, get married, have kids, but until I get the motivation to actively pursue it, it's not going to happen. Yeah, I'm honestly in the same boat. I'm 31 now, and I get a bit lonely from time to time, but just never get out and do anything about it. Aside from my married friends, my friends my age in relationships seems to always have problems, so it tends to discourage me. Same here. Every time a friend gets married, I just mentally start a clock when the problem will start. Always hope that there will be no problem, but struggle is futile. For me, I think it's more of an issue of I've been alone for so long I'm comfortable this way. I'd like to have someone, I guess. But my life I cheap and simple, and I'm not beholden to anyone to keep tidy or entertain them. So I can just work and come home and play video games. I've had relationships before. I guess I enjoyed them while I was in them. But when I look back at a relationship I don't remember the good parts. I remember the shitty ends, when I felt like shit for a week or more, because I thought we had something, and I was wrong. So why fight for something that isn't easy, when my life is so easy? I know that's not an attitude most people take. But I don't crave decks like other guys my age. Don't think I'm a deckshell or anything, or have low testosterone, because I still get the urge to be satisfied from time to time. But again, easier to deal with myself, lol. Man's not hot. Why can't you get a girlfriend? Perspiration ting. Why can't you get a girlfriend? Nose long like garden hose. Why can't you get a girlfriend? That girl is a knuckers. Why can't you get a girlfriend? She told me take off your jacket. My face. That'll do it. She won't though. A social life or lack thereof. Not me, but a friend. He says he's unlovable. I personally think it's really he can't drive, has to spend most of his time taking care of his grandfather and disabled mother, and lives in nowhere, and thus no dating pool. There's a hard life to live. Realistically he probably won't be able to start a life until they pass. Sadly, you're probably right. Life hasn't been good to this guy. I just don't like who I'm right now. I want to improve myself before I commit to anyone else. Also the fact I have feelings for a friend of mine, and I really need to get over them. Wow, you just explained my whole situation. Though I feel I still have a chance with my friend. Maybe, edit, till that I'm not the only one. Lots of advice saying tell her, and end any lingering feelings. My situation puts me 15 hours closer to her in 2 or 3 months. I'll tell her over Christmas though. Gulp. Probably the fear of actually asking a girl out. Practice rejection then. That's a fear all humans have, and the sooner you realize it doesn't actually hurt you, the better. I cannot remember the name of the author/business person, but basically they were scared of rejection and this was obviously an impediment to getting funding on business projects. So they practiced rejection. Going into a supermarket, asking if you can make an announcement on the intercom. Going to a bottle store and asking if you can open a bottle of wine to test it. Going to a hotel and asking if they have a free room for you. The sooner you realize that rejection doesn't actually hurt that much, nor does it matter in the long run, the better off you'll be. Well, I'm more afraid of her saying yes actually lol. It's like Jehovah's Witness getting into someone's home and then they don't know what to do next. That would be my inability to look people in the eyes for longer than a few seconds. When I do, it's like that thing in the movies where one person is watching someone else through binoculars and then the person being watched looks back. That's how it feels to me. I know that feeling well. Sometimes I remember that eye contact is something people do, so I force myself to make direct eye contact for an extended period and see how they react. Basically a social experiment to see if other people find that normal. Haven't gotten any outwardly weird reactions yet. To me it's just bizarre. What if everyone is playing the same game and it's not actually a normal thing? I always think they have a boyfriend already and won't find me attractive. Didn't stop the guy that's with my ex-wife now. Why should it stop you? Be daring. Girls like that shit, you know. I have no experience with relationships whatsoever. Well, every person that's in a relationship now have had that issue at one point in their lives too, smiley face. Yeah, but what about people midway into their 20s like me, or well into their 20s or 30s? What then? Firsts can happen late for a lot of people, but that doesn't mean they'll never happen. My ex was in his mid-20s, and I was his first kiss, girlfriend, etc. He was a great guy, and the lack of experience didn't make him any less likable. I wish more women were like you, but trust me when I say this, finding a girl you find attractive who also finds you attractive and also accepts that you have little to no experience is very rare. I don't ask. I don't advertise my availability. I don't respond to signals. I get along with women fine. Female friends, female colleagues, awesome. Just never let my walls down and have the confidence to make the first move, I guess. Meh, I'm okay with life right now, smiley face. This and one other describes my situation. I know him attractive, I know him funny, I have plenty of friends, but man am I the too dense when signals are being sent, or it's not a person I'm interested in. I'm very awkward. You need someone as awkward as you, just be awkward. Be who you are, and eventually you will find someone that likes your awkwardness. It's a nice feeling, being loved, even if you think you can't be loved. Nope, as an awkward person who worked through most of their awkwardness, putting two awkward people in a room together doesn't give either of them common ground to overcome their awkwardness. Now you just have two people who don't know how to start a normal interaction, doing nothing with each other instead of just one person. Beep beep, I'm fat. If that's your only problem, you're easy off. Start dieting after Christmas, and you should be solid by summer. Or take the easy route and date fat women. Self-described ugly people and introverts. For the record, you can work on both, and most real women will fall in love with a person rather than a body. Actual biggest handicap in this thread, excuses. You sound like one of those people that tells depressed people to snap out of it. Lack of confidence, somewhat lacking social skills, and low levels of personal warmth. Requires a lot of energy to be around people, let alone people you're meeting for the first time. I'm pretty content being by myself most of the time. Too picky for my own good. And the ones I really like and would marry are too picky for their own good. The time I actually spend out in public and or in social places where it is acceptable to meet and flirt in a romantic sense. As someone with a full-time job and relatively reclusive hobbies, video games and miniature wargaming, I tend to head straight back home after work. I do a lot of my shopping online, and when I do go out it is to pre-arranged gatherings with mostly guy friends. I don't regret how I allocate my time, because I enjoy what I do. It's just something you have to accept about time management. If you don't want to set aside the time and effort to find a partner, you're most likely not going to have one just fall into your lap. By the time I'm interested in more than friendship, the conflicting feelings of enjoying what she and I have and wanting more become quite a mess. I have an incredible talent at asking single women out about a few weeks after they have started dating their eventual husband, but before they have announced it to the world. Guess I'm not putting myself out there enough. I always think that if I met myself on the street I would just walk past myself without even noticing. Even at events I usually keep to myself, and my whole presence probably screams don't talk to me, I'm uninteresting. Which is totally wrong. In reality I don't consider myself a boring person whatsoever. It's just hard to relate to the outside world. My body. Literally being handicapped. I'm a coward. Two things, I have a hard time getting myself out there and I'm abstinent. The first one is the bigger limitation, but the second one makes me apprehensive about dating apps like Tinder. As I get older, my requirements for falling in love are getting more and more strict. I struggle to like people as most people in my life let me down, so it's getting pretty difficult. But really, why is it so hard to find an intelligent, kind, affectionate, moderately attractive nerdy girl? I'd class myself as all of those, minus the girl bit, and I can't be alone here. I dive in way too easily,